everyone, it is time for part 4 of this page from Tiny Year by Agotapop, and we have a little picture of a sort of ribbon. Let's have a closer look and you'll see what I mean. So it looks like someone's been or is about to have a gift wrapping session with ribbon and scissors, but we've also got a little bit of holly here to colour as well, so that's rather nice. Or maybe they're decorating this jar with the ribbon, something like that. I'm not entirely sure. So we've got a few decisions to make. We've got what looks like ground here, you know, like a wooden, but I'm a bit confused as to what the two lines are here. Can you see? And I thought to start with, maybe it's a bit of ribbon, but the end of the ribbon is here. But we've also got a bit of ribbon here. So I'm thinking maybe there is a bit of ribbon going through there. And this is like the desk. So I think I'm going to start with a bit of a brown colour just for our desk. So I'm using Staedtler Design Journey, and I've grabbed number 7. And I'm just going to go around our items here really. Now I find it a little bit odd doing half a background, so basically we're doing the sort of base part, but then I'm not intending on doing anything around here. So sometimes I find that a little bit odd, so I might put something in. I'm just going to sort of taper that off like that and upwards as well, because I don't really know where it's going. We'll have to do something with our jar, maybe put a light bit like that, so we're looking through the jar, we can see the bit of the colour of the desk as we would through the glass. There we go. So I think someone's decorating this jam jar for something. Maybe they're gifting someone some jam, but I don't think you would decorate it before you made it and put it in the jar. So I wonder what they're going to put in there. Some people go to these shops where you can buy loose products that don't come packaged, and then you take your own jars and things that you'll be using. So maybe they're doing that. Or some people, I'm just going to try and get up to the edges a bit. Some people do this thing where they put like a cake or a cookie mix in a jar, and you just give the jar. I'm going to sort of try and taper that off a bit like I did over here, but I sort of messed it up a bit, I think, really, like that. Same here. I can't do it much or else I'm going to be interfering in the next picture. So maybe I'll mess that up a tad. Yes, you've got this like cookie jar, cake jar, that sort of thing where you just tip out the ingredients and make something, which is an interesting idea. But we don't know what this person's doing. I don't like this colour I've used at all. So now I'm wondering what to do. It looks far too orangey. It doesn't look like wood at all. So I'm going to grab the 77 and go over the top of it. So if you like it, keep it, because, you know, it's up to you. But I just feel like it looks too orangey. I should have looked at my swatch chart and gone, nope. But anyway, now we're going to get a weird mix of odd colours. But anyway, it'll be better if it's a bit darker, in my opinion. But as I say, it's up to you. Now the ribbon, it's so tempting to go with our red, Christmas red. I did do Christmas colours on the stocking, but I've tried to sort of do things a little bit differently because I wasn't feeling it. You know, it feels a bit early. But today, for some reason, I'm feeling it, even though it's only the day after I did this one yesterday. But I'm feeling more like doing red today. So I might do a red bow, but I'm also thinking, would it be gold? But we did a gold bow on the one above. So maybe red will be better. But maybe we won't do it all the same colour. Because I'm thinking this bow could be a different colour to this bow, which could be a different colour to this piece, which could be different to this. Potentially. Just need to do that. That's a little better. I'm a bit meh about it all. But we'll see. I might put some shadows in later, because even though it looks like ground, this ribbon still looks like it's floating in the air. So I've got to think about that. But I'm going to do this ribbon on this reel first. And I'm going to use, whoops, the number, yes, 299. This is called Dark, Calming Dark. I'm not going to put it on too dark though to start with. I think I'm just going to put a layer down actually. A sort of medium pressure layer. Now medium pressure on these pencils is not very much because they are quite hard, so you don't get loads of colour out of them initially. But we'll carry on and then we'll put in some darker and lighter areas in a minute. I'll show you. And we might use another colour to do some shadow as well. Right, so that's just a basic. Now here, I'm going to start here, making it quite dark on this edge. And then sort of fading it to the middle. And the same on this side. Like that. We're going to do the same on these three because they're very similar, keeping our sort of shiny bit down there if we can. Now, I'm not trying to make this look like it's metallic and with a really high shine, but I'm trying to make it look more like it's sort of satiny, silky ribbon. So it has a little bit of shine. But it also helps to make our reel, cotton reel. I don't know why I'm saying it's a cotton reel. It's a ribbon reel. It makes it look more rounded. Well, I hope everyone's well today. I woke up a little bit thinking I was happy, but I was thinking a bit about Christmas and how I need to do a lot. And actually we've got a visitor tomorrow, so I was thinking about what I had to do to get ready for that as well. And yeah, so I was sort of busy in my head, but not in a bad way, if you know what I mean. But I did sleep in again. Yesterday I slept in as well. Actually today I think it was 6:30. It's not that much of a lie-in. I usually get up at 15:15. My alarm goes off at 6. I'm going to sneeze, I think. I don't know. I'm going to try and keep it at bay. How do you hold in a sneeze? Is there an art to doing that? Is there a way? No, I'm going to have to... Right, sorry. No, I don't know how to hold in a sneeze. Now this piece, as much as I'd like my shine to carry on down there, I know it's only quite vague. We've got a bit of shadow here from this piece of ribbon here, so I might just make it look a bit more like that. And the same with this piece. Now I am going to use another colour to emphasise these shadows where these lines are and things. But we're just getting our basic red finished first. There we go. And then this bit. Yeah, so I was thinking a bit about what I had to do. I've got a lot of videos I want to make as well. Always do. I had got really ahead. When Johanna's new book came out, I was ready. I got really ahead with a lot of videos and I was just, you know, raring to go. But then I started doing 3 videos, publishing 3 videos a day, but I was only making 2. So I sort of caught up with myself a little bit. Oh, excuse me. Right, I want some shadow. I'm just trying to choose. I'm thinking the 260 might be quite a good colour for red shadow. It's quite a dark red. We'll see if it works. It may be not intense enough. I'm going to sharpen it. Now my first thought is underneath the top of this reel, because this is going to be overlapping, so it would cast a shadow like that. Oops, I've gone and coloured the reel. Now these, I've got to work out what's overlapping what. I'm going to put that one slightly under the line, I think. You have to make up your mind. You can't go some over, some under. I'm going to put this one above the line. And this one under. Just from the way it's drawn, I'm just making a guess and hoping that it works. Now this one's going to be a bit thicker because this is like there's a whole laid back layer. I'm not expressing myself very well. And the same here. Quite dark bit there and under here as well, like that, and then just a little bit underneath on these. There we go. It looks slightly three-dimensional. Could be better. I'm just going to put a bit more in there. You could go in with a black, you know, and really put in some dark shadow, but I'm not sure I think it's necessary. I'm okay with it looking like that. Now, our actual reel, they're quite often white. I don't want to do a white one because that's, could do a grey, which would almost white. I'm going to try that actually with the 800, which is our lightest cold grey colour. It's called cool grey, I think. And in this hole here, I'm going to sharpen, there'll be a lot of shadow. So we'll try and put that in. We might need a darker colour. We'll see how we get on. Like that. And then here we'd have a shadow coming round and then fading, just in the same way that we tried to leave this light a bit here. Mixed success with that, I felt. Like that. And then on the top, you just get a little bit going towards the middle. So you put a bit of grey in there. And then down here, you'd have a bit more near the ribbon. But this whole bit would be a bit darker compared to this bit down here. Which again, you sort of fade towards the middle, but there'll be some shadow from the ribbon. That's quite pale. I'm actually going to get a slightly darker grey. I'm just having a look. The 80, I think. Is that the 80? No. I'll find it in a minute. They're all twisted the wrong way. There we go. 80. And what I'm going to do with the 80 is to darken some of the areas that I want really dark. So in here. So it's really obvious we're sort of trying to make that look like we're looking inside. And the same with these just edges here. Just a little bit more there and there. Like that. And same here. A little bit on that edge. And this bit would be actually darker than the bit above because of the way it would catch the light. Now, it's not always easy to work out where shadow's going to be on items. And the way I learned in various ways, I learned by copying other people. What I've done, I'm sorry, I was making a decision about colour then while I was talking. I'm going to make this ribbon here, this colour. And then I'm going to make this ribbon, this ribbon, these are next to each other. I think I'm going to make this ribbon this colour. That's what I'm going to do. Right. No, I learnt by seeing what other people did in their colouring, watching tutorial videos or just looking at completed pages that people have done and thinking, how did they do that? You know, but also if you want things to look more realistic, a good idea is to just look at photos. You know, look at pictures of things that people have done and see, pictures of real things. I mean, sorry, I'm thinking and talking. It's not really helping me. Yes, pictures of real things that people have done. I have photographed, 5. So, or look at things you own. So if I was colouring a pencil, I look at a pencil and then I look at that and then I can see how it might look. This is number 5. I'm going to put a really light layer down here while I'm talking nonsense. Hopefully it'll make more sense than if I'm not concentrating. So yeah, so look at real items, photos or real items in your home, and look at how the light and shade falls on them. I used to find leaves, particularly if I was out walking, and berries, really closely observe them. And because I loved them anyway, it was a joy to just look at them and notice the light and shade. Where do the shadows fall? What do they look like? What colour are the leaves and their shadows? Take some photos, that sort of thing. And it really helps you. I actually found that when I first started colouring, I became so much more observant. You know, I didn't really think about things before in the same way. So that was lovely that I sort of started to notice things in a different way. So we've put down just a basic layer, and now we look at what needs to be darker. So in here and in here are our really dark bits. Now I've done a similar ribbon to this up above here on the stocking page, but this one's a bit simpler because it's only one colour. So we're going to make it darker here at the bottom and then just fade it up like that. Just gently blend it in. Do the same here and then the same with this one. There we go. I got asked an interesting question on a video the other day. Someone asked me, well, they said, you didn't blend in this video, why not? And I found the terminology confusing. I know, because blending is blending mixing two colours together, or is it what I'm doing here where I'm making this bit darker under here and then just gently tapering it off to make it lighter? You know, I got a bit confused by what they meant. But no, I didn't mix any colours together, but I didn't feel there was a need to in that particular video with the colours that I used. And I don't always do blending. And I explained this to them, which hopefully they saw my reply, that depending on the pencil brand, my mood, the picture, the paper, will depend on whether I do or not. You know, and that answered both, whether I'm mixing colours or just sort of fading from one to another. Because I don't always know, having not ever been art trained, I don't always know what the right words are. Oops. Now this, I want to put some shadow in next under these items on the sort of wooden tabletop. So I'm getting this dark brown, the 77 that we were using before. Now just along the edge of the jar, but also the ribbon. I want the ribbon to look like it's resting down on the table. So I need to put some shadow in there. Oops, like that. And this bit of ribbon too. And hopefully it will make it look a little bit more, a little bit less like it's flying through the air, a bit more static. And there we go. So I think this bit is in the air, but this bit must be touching the table. Also going to use this brown to create a bigger shadow under there. Just a tad. There we go. Now we have our see-through jar with a silver item in it. Tricky. What I'm going to do is colour the scissors quite dark so that then I can colour the jar in a grey and it hopefully will work. So I'm going to use the darkest grey, cool grey, which is the 890. Now, I'm thinking if I make it a bit lighter as it goes inside the glass like we did with this bottom bit, that might make more sense. So I'm going to start at the top and I'm thinking, well, I want it to look silvery, but I need a darker area. So I'm going to make this bit here my darkest area. I'm going to go all the way around there, then around this edge, around this bit, there, and then sort of try and lighten it a bit towards the middle like that. And then same here, so I've got a bit in the middle of each part that looks a bit shiny. Like that. Now the bit that's sitting on top should be a little bit lighter. Definitely want it darker there where it's overlapping. Now we're going to do the same on the other side, which is sort of the opposite effect. So really dark here and under here, then around the edge. Try and make that bit just a tad lighter so it looks like it's overlapping. The scissors don't look very comfortable on the hand, do they? There we go. I'm still trying to contemplate whether to do a sort of Advent thing. I have been thinking, I did think this last year as well, whether to do Johanna's Advent calendar again or not, her freebie one. But I've still got it on my, you know, on my channel. You can still look at it. So you see I'm doing this a bit lighter, but I still need it to look dark enough so that when I put my white jar colours down, light grey jar colours down, it will make sense. There we go. I'm quite pleased with those. Now we have another ribbon. Now we have green leaves, so I think I'm going to do the leaves first, and then I can contemplate what colour to do the ribbon. I'm actually going to start with the 52 and do the leaves that aren't holly. So this one here, I'm just going to fade it to the edge. Now I don't want to do a green ribbon here, but I don't know if I want to do a red one either. So I'm contemplating gold or purple or even a deep blue. I'm not sure, but I want to stick with Christmassy. But those colours can be used, of course, there's no rules. What colour should we do for our holly? I'm sort of torn between the sea green, the 38. We've also got a phthalo green. Oh, that's too blue. The light green, no. Okay, the sea green wins. Here it is, 38 sea green. And what I'm going to do is make it a bit darker in the middle. And at the bottom here, and then just a little bit less towards the little pointy bits, not too much. I want to still have colour down, as I say, just a little bit less. There we go. Just having family lunch. I've been establishing a few things from the family over the last few days as to what they wanted to do for Christmas. Whether they wanted to come out to certain places or not, what sort of meal they wanted, and they just wanted the normal thing that we have, which is fair enough. And what was the other thing we were talking about? Oh yeah, whether they wanted Christmas crackers or not. No one was keen on that idea, so that was fine. We won't be doing that. I think most Americans now know what Christmas crackers are, even though it's not something that you do over there. So they're basically a long tube twisted at the ends, and one person holds one end, one holds the other. You pull it, there's a banger inside, it should bang. And I'm just choosing my colour, and there's a gift. I'm going to use a different red. I think that's what I'm going to do. 722, I'm going to do the Indian red, so it's just got a slightly different shade of red ribbon. To start with, I'm just going to put down some red, and then and then inside you get a paper hat to wear, a joke and a little gift. And there's so much plastic, although they do plastic free ones, but there's so much waste, cardboard. It's just a lot of rubbish, really. And so we decided we didn't want them, so that's fine. That's good, save me some money and some shopping, and it's all good. I mean, last year we had some, but they were just leftovers from the year before when we had people over. you know, and what I'd done was get some really pretty ones just to make the table look pretty really, and the gifts are a bit rubbish, as they always are. So I've never found one with good gifts in. Oh, actually I have. Went to my neighbour's once for a Christmas meal. It was very good of him to do that. And he had crackers and they were amazing. Right, we're going back to our 800 to do, oh, we've got a ribbon, and I coloured that as if it was see-through. Whoops. Right, sorry. I'm going to have to use my eraser and just erase that little bit there, because that needs to be, I think, the colour of the bow. I can still see that there a little bit, but hey ho. So what did we use? The 722. And we want it darker here, fade a little bit, and then darker again here, I reckon, like that. Yes, they're really good. And you had things like USB cables, memory cards. They were very good. So I'm going to put a bit more here and less towards the middle here. This bit I feel might be a bit darker inside here. I don't know why, there's no reason for it really. And then a bit here now. Just realised that maybe colouring the ribbon holder grey and then trying to do a grey jar, because of the trying to make it look like glass, maybe wasn't such a good idea. But anyway, hopefully it will work. I think it's okay. I think I've just managed to pull it off. Now, if you wish now, you can put a little bit of a background around here just to even out the tabletop, but I'm not going to. I'm going to actually do something to try and make my tabletop look a bit better. I'm still not happy with it. I'm going to get the number, not that one, the number 77, and I'm going to put a few lines to make it look a bit more like it's wood. And there's a few on there already, but I just want to, I don't know whether it'll improve it or not. I think it is a bit better. Just going to improve that as well. I haven't quite gone to the lines, to the edge. Make that a bit bigger, because it's sort of upwards, pointing upwards. There we go, a bit more under there. And I'm going to put a bit around here where these things are overlapping as well. So I'm just putting a little bit of brown around, or actually all the way around the ribbon, apart from the bit where there's not a leaf behind it. Could put a bit here and here as well. Even brown in there a bit. And then where these two overlap as well. There we go. Yeah, I'm happy with that now. It's not straight. There we go. But I'm okay with it. Yeah, I'm liking our slightly more Christmassy colours. Now, what you could do, and what I am considering doing, is you could put a little bit of sparkle on here, and you could go around the edge of the holly and these leaves with the, I'm going to do it with a glitter pen, just for fun. So I'm going to grab two colours. Yeah. So I'm going to go actually around the smaller leaves. I'm going to go around with the sparkly green. So this is number 727. I'm just going to go around these with this. I'm just thinking about how this probably wouldn't be real leaves because they wouldn't last, so maybe they're fake ones with a bit of glitter on. And then I'm going to use a gold one to go around the holly. So this is number 703. You could go around the edge of the ribbons as well, but ribbons occasionally but don't tend to have sparkles, but then nor do leaves. So you could put some down the middle as well, but I think I'm going to leave it there. Excuse the pun. I'm just checking that's, yeah, it's worked, it's gone down. So there we go, there's a little bit of sparkle on the edges of the leaves if you want to. You don't have to. And as I say, you can put it on the edges of the ribbon or down the middle of the ribbon or whatever you might want to do as well. But that's quite a lot of effort. And it might not show up that well. So I think as I say, I'm just going to leave mine there. So there is a little jar. I think we're going to put some sweets in it. That's what I've decided. We're going to put some sweets in the jar. Put the new Quality Street. If you're British, you know what Quality Street is. It's just a tub of wrapped sweets, usually toffees, fudges, wrapped in a foil. And they've got a brand new flavour out this year. Pineapple. I'll leave that with you. Enjoy the thought of a pineapple chocolate. Anyway, have a super day. Thank you so much for watching and happy colouring.